Indians spend, on average, 5 years of their salary on a wedding. Americans spend 1 year. The British, just half a year. We spend 5. And before you say शादी तो एक ही बार होती है, that number has gone up 22% in just the last 3 years. So, either weddings have gotten more magical or we're getting better at ignoring the cost.
The average Indian spends twice as much on weddings as on education, which is not something to be proud of, but that's how it is.
This video is about where all that money goes, who's quietly paying for it, and what it's slowly changing in the process. शादी का बिल 3 चीजों पे डिपेंड होता है. The city, the guest count, and how many days your family has decided the celebration lasts. Based on 2026 data, a full Indian wedding, including pre-wedding functions, main ceremony, reception, etc., ranges from 12 lakhs to 3.2 crores. That's not a typo. That gap is wide enough to fit a small apartment in between. A tier 4 town wedding runs 4 to 8 lakhs. In Delhi NCR, that number jumps to 28 to 60 lakhs. A Jaipur destination-style wedding with 5 days, 500 plus guests, Bharat and all can hit 1.2 crores. Same country, same Shaadi, but completely different financial realities. The geography matters, but mainly because of the culture. North Indian weddings run 3 to 5 days across multiple ceremonies. South Indian weddings are typically shorter, but the jewellery cost quietly makes up for it. So, where you're from can affect how much you spend. In Delhi, venue and logistics take the biggest share at 10 to 12 lakhs. Catering runs 7 to 9 lakhs. Jewellery, budgeted separately, adds another 5 to 10 lakhs on top. And that's before the honeymoon, the pre-wedding functions, or the engagement rings. And this is just the main wedding. The bill isn't even close to final yet. A decade ago, a wedding had 2 events, maybe 3. Lekin aaj, engagement, mehendi, haldi, sangeet, main ceremony, reception, each with its own venue, catering, outfits, photography, and decoration budget. Pre-wedding functions alone add 4 to 12 lakhs on top of the main wedding. और इस सब के बाद आता है honeymoon. The Maldives, which has basically become mandatory on Instagram, costs between 2.5 to 5 lakhs for a standard trip. By this point, jeb already tight hai, so it usually goes on the credit card or gets tied into the wedding loan. Of all the loans that Indians in their 20s applied for, 20% were for weddings. Not a home, not education, a wedding. And banks and NBFCs have noticed. They now offer dedicated marriage loans of 35 to 40 lakhs at interest rates between 9.9 to 24% for up to 6 years. Marriage loan. Kya romantic naam diya hai. Look at that last bit right there. On a 10 lakh loan at 14% over 5 years, you pay back 14 lakhs in total. मतलब 4 लाख का सिर्फ interest for a wedding from years ago. And this EMI lands every month during the same years that you're trying to build an emergency fund, start an SIP, or save for a home down payment. Financial advisors say keep your total EMIs under 30 to 35% of monthly income. For a household earning 60,000 a month, that ceiling is 18 to 21,000. One wedding loan already blows past that for most young earners. But the couple's loan is just a small part of the picture. Around 64% of money spent on Indian weddings are funded by parents. And shockingly, Indian families spend roughly 20% of their total household wealth on their daughter's wedding. Yes, even today, the bride's parents cover the bulk of the expenses, among other things.
Researchers studied 40,000 weddings in India. Dowry was paid in 95% of them.
To pull that off, parents have to liquidate what they have spent decades building up. Fixed deposits, PPF balances, provident funds, LIC policies. ये replaceable नहीं है. Even if they save 18 to 20% of their income, rebuilding 20 lakhs on an 8 to 10 LPA salary takes 10 to 12 years. Most parents doing this are already in their 50s. They don't have 12 years. And when your parents don't have retirement savings, you're obviously going to send some money back every month throughout your 30s. On top of your own financial goals, and that wedding EMI too. ये situation अब काफी common है, लेकिन most people don't think about it beforehand. Now, gold is sold to you as an asset. In some cases that is true, but wedding jewelry is not the same thing as investment gold. When you buy physical jewelry, you pay gold price plus GST at 3%, plus making charges of 8 to 25%. When you sell, you recover only the gold value. Making charges vanish from day one. On a 5 lakh rupee purchase, that's 40,000 to 1.25 lakhs gone before you've even worn it once. Oh, and under 2026 rules, long-term capital gains on gold are taxed at 12.5% without indexation, meaning inflation doesn't reduce your tax bill. The question worth asking, will this jewelry be worn regularly? या बस बैंक के locker में रहेगा? If it's locker gold, then it's a depreciating asset with an annual storage cost, not an investment. Physical gold coins, gold ETFs, or mutual funds are real investments. They track the price of gold without any additional charges. All of the spending locks in before the wedding day. But when you talk to couples 1 to 3 years after their wedding, 3 regrets come up constantly. First regret is photography. Top tier packages in metro cities exceed 2 to 3 lakh rupees. पर सच बताए तो most couples only watch their wedding videos once. और वो 600 पेज का एल्बम भी कबर्ड में ही रहता. The next regret is with the bridal outfit. An 8 to 12 kg heavily embroidered lehenga is almost never worn again. The consistent feedback from married women is that a 5 to 10,000 lighter sari looks nearly identical in photographs, which is where 99% of people will ever see the outfit anyway. Guests सब खाने में busy है. And the last regret is the guest list. 500 guests at 700 to 1,200 per plate is 3.5 to 6 lakhs just for food for people you'll probably never speak to again. Couples who cut down to 100 to 150 guests say their wedding felt more meaningful. Okay, so EMIs, parent savings, regrets, ये सब budget sheet पर दिखता है. What doesn't show up there is what your 20s are actually worth. This is the only time when being reckless with your career is genuinely a smart move. Switching industries, relocating, building something from scratch. The moment a household depends on your income, none of that is possible. Opportunity cost का कोई invoice नहीं होता है. But for a lot of people, it ends up being the most expensive thing about getting married young. And in 2026, some couples are drawing a completely different conclusion from all of this. Roughly 30% of couples are choosing micro weddings, just 50 to 150 guests, 1 to 2 days, built around the people who actually matter to you. A well-done micro wedding costs just 8 to 15 lakhs in most cities, versus the 70 lakhs or above for a traditional multi-day event. Some couples are going even further. A registered marriage is legally valid, costs just a few thousand rupees and takes just one morning. So 15 to 20 lakhs शादी पर नहीं, down payment या mutual fund या किसी trip पर जाता है. So whether it's a traditional 5-day big fat Indian wedding or a smaller event with your close friends and family by your side, the right choice is different for every couple and for every family. But the financial gap between these choices is large enough that you should at least think twice before you decide. If you enjoyed this video, share it with your friends and hit that subscribe button. I'll see you next time.